Hey guys, welcome back. We are in our third game for today. It's going to be the upper bracket finals, and this ostensibly what that means is the winner of this is going to proceed on to the actual
Yep.
finals, where they'll play a best of three. The winner will be the representative for Thailand in the FSL Elite later on in March. Also, keep your calendar free. It's going to be on the, if I'm not wrong, 7th, 8th, or 9th, 7th to 8th of March.
Okay.
It's going to be a big event once more. Our third time running FSL Elite. It's going to be multiple titles at this huge event. I think currently we're not sure of the venue. I think it's Comex is the current venue. So it's going to be an amazing event. Do pop by if you guys are in Singapore. And of course, all these teams and all these regions are playing for a chance to fly down and play in the FSL Elite later on in March. But for now, we are going to load into our third game for today in the winner bracket finals, or upper bracket finals. Surprise, surprise, Aphelios has made it through once more.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see the Leona van.
Okay,
So we're not
okay.
going to see that counter coming in.
Cool.
But on the other side, we do see the Miss Fortune and the Jarvan, two very strong champions in the current meta.
Yeah, I love that they already drafted this like AoE control. This is a lot of space being denied when you have Jarvan and Miss Fortune because of the combination of their ultimates. Cataclysm as well as bullet time is very dangerous, it's tough to deal with. Throw on maybe a Rumble, throw on maybe support that can help, control the area even more, something like a Braum. Might make things more dicey, but on the opposite side right now for Lannisters on blue, it's going to be Kayn locked in for Spubby. No surprise, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
This is the same Spubby that was on top 10 dinos the previous split, or the previous FSL Elite. She's now swapped over. She's playing for Lannisters this time because I think word in the grapevine is that top 10 dinos are not going to be participating in FSL Elite this year or FSL Singapore qualifiers. So Spubby has moved on to greener pastures.
Yeah, and the two champions that I remember the best when I associate the names Bobby is,
Yeah.
Kayn and Poppy.
Oh yeah.
And we do see the Kayn coming out. So hopefully we don't see too much rust. Hopefully we see the same level of
Yeah.
Kayn amazingness that we saw in the
She's
previous year.
extremely comfortable in this champion.
Yeah.
I'll give it to her. It's one of her pocket picks, and we were talking about the area control. We see the Braum being picked up already. So far predictions on point with what this team lineup is trying to do with the composition. Mordekaiser banned out, Fiora banned out. There are still some options available in terms of tier 1 picks, as it were. A lot of people favoring the Akali nowadays. Diana is also another interesting pick that we see a lot. Would fit into the theme of this Wombo combo area control composition on the WoW side, the red side.
Yep, at this point we do see a lot of top lane bans.
Mhm.
So, none of them are really hitting the mark of the champions that you just listed.
That's true.
Renekton is not... I don't think Renekton is very strong right now, but...
It's one of those niche sort of picks in the top lane where you really want a heavy split pusher, but you also want a bruiser, right? You don't want to pick something that only excels at split pushing.
Yep.
So in that sense, it's very niche, but it's also one of those things that I think you kind of target ban out. Orianna being hovered over here, and once again, the idea of Wombo combo area control, very true again for this Orianna. You throw the command attack out, the ball is a space that everyone has to respect around it, right? Because if they walk into this zone of control, boom, Shockwave catches them, you win the fight.
Yeah, and don't forget, it has the Jarvan jungle, so
Yeah.
this just enables the Orianna ultimate so much harder than, anything else.
Ooh, Ari here, the classic counter pick to the Orianna in the mid lane. This is actually a pretty tricky matchup, and immediately, boom. You see, she picked up a cleanse because I was harping about this a lot in the past FSL qualifiers. I think it was
remember that.
yeah, I was like, if you're playing against Ari, you need the cleanse because if you don't respect the charm, you are gonna go 0-2 in lane before level 6,
absolutely.
right? Especially when you have aggressive junglers like Kayn, who can, for all intents and purposes, come through with different pathing routes, right? Not necessarily that she has to just walk in through the river. She can always sneak from the back of the Raptor camp, across walls. So the Umber Trespass, very dangerous, which is why you need additional levels of security.
And don't forget, this is Christie's Ari. And
Yeah.
if you recall that, I believe Christie and Bubby used to be on the same team, right?
No, Christy
no.
used to be
yeah.
on Lannisters the whole way, but Spubby was on top 10 dinos, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. They did play against each other though.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did, I think.
In the FSL Elite, because
yeah.
it was the same FSL Elite where Box Gaming came in first, the Vietnamese representatives. Second was top 10 dinos in the best of 3. Of course, they didn't make it that far. And then third was Lannisters, which top 10 dinos closely beat out for the final spot. So there's some residual, feelings there. I feel like there's some past history as well.
Yeah, the point is that, Kirsty's Ari is actually pretty good. I think we remember, the previous FSL
yeah.
just completely stomped out the competition. But other than that, if you take a look at the compositions across the board, I think we do see a bit more of a well-rounded list of champions coming
Mhm.
in from the WoW side. I mean, we see more tankiness, but we also see the ability to do damage,
Yeah.
both in the early stages and the late stages of the game. Meanwhile, on the side of Lannister, I think you do have to snowball a little bit harder in order to cut down the extra health bars that WoW will be bringing to the table.
Yeah, the top lane is kind of a tough one for Irelia because you generally play Irelia into the squishies that you can duel out, but against Sion, it's what happens when Unstoppable Force meets a movable object, right? It's nothing's really gonna happen. You can't really find kills unless barring a huge misplay, which I don't expect at this level of competition. That being said, you're completely right. I think if I was Bobby in this case, I tend to put my attention on the mid and bot lane because if you can free up Kirsty after getting her slightly ahead,
Yep.
it allows unfiltered access to bot lane to snowball and force ganks. Last minute though, Orianna did swap out to teleport. This might also be an indication that she might be going for Summoner Spellbook, so also the option to take Cleanse there. I wouldn't be surprised if she does. Orianna is one of those weird champions where there's no like perfect keystone
Yeah.
for her, so you can go for multiple things, right? We do see electrocute sometimes and command, Summoner Eerie as well. Yeah, so Spellbook is also another option that most people do take.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. But basically, I was gonna build onto your point in the junglers that I
Right.
think focusing into the mid and bot side
Mhm.
are the better ideas, especially because again with the jungle changes and
Yeah.
Dragon being so highly prioritized. Top lane, you're just gonna let them whack each other for a while, and
Yeah.
hopefully Aurelia doesn't lose the lane to Sion.
I feel like this lane is kind of neutral. If Sion does not fall behind for any reason,
Yeah.
right, tends to scale pretty well when it approaches team fights because your ability to force with the Unstoppable Onslaught. That being said, Kayn as a champion is very much into the concept of skirmishing to build up stacks, right? And you look at the overall lineup, there are 3 melee champions, 2 ranged champions.
Yeah.
Balance of probability, you're gonna go for the Ras upgrade, which gives you additional skirmishing power in team fights and knockups as well. So I think the composition being built around, or at least has the Kayn in mind when they were drafting. They understood, okay, if Kayn goes for the Ras form, we have 2 semi-tanks in the front line in the form of Kayn and Nautilus, can play around that and have a triple threat composition from Ahri, Aurelia, and Aphelios.
And keep in mind, the meta has shifted since the last time we visited FSL. No
Mhm.
more Sejuani, no more tanky
Oh yeah,
junglers.
100%.
So now we do see, like you said, these sort of skirmish champions being
Mhm.
picked up in a higher priority capacity.
Yeah.
And I think Kayn is just, one of the best examples of those sorts of champions. So just, this is the meta that Bubby should be able to shine in.
Yeah, I love that you brought up that point because it's also why tank junglers have sort of gone the way of the dinosaurs right now. Yes, jungle camps respawn quicker, but they don't give as much EXP. So if you're not ganking, if you're not making things happen on the map, and you're farming 24/7 consistently, you are gonna fall behind for sure compared to the laners. And when you are skirmishing, like with champions like Kayn, with champions like Jarvan, Lee Sin, these are all the high prio champions,
Yep.
even Kha'Zix to a certain
Mhm.
extent. You get things activated on the map, you control the objectives from then on, and then it trickles down, the gold and EXP trickles down to you. As opposed to AFK farming in the jungle like a Master Yi, you never see that anymore. You never see a Nocturne, I mean we do, but to less effect, the power of power farming is not there anymore.
Yeah. As an Elise main, I'm pretty happy with the
Yeah.
changes. But that's something I actually want to bring up. We haven't seen Elise much. We've seen one ban.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she is actually the highest win rate jungler
Mhm.
right now. So I'm actually surprised we're not seeing that pick more.
But as a region, I think Thailand hasn't displayed much of Elise favorite gameplay or draft, to be honest. Every time I see Elise, it tends to be in the SGMYID
That's
server,
fair.
right? So it's also the idea of regional preferences. Like, for example, when you watch the FSL Vietnam qualifiers, bot laners play scaling champions all the time.
Yeah.
They play like Varus, they play Jinx. We have not seen a single scaling champion in this game, apart from Aphelios, who most argue, if you get a hit, he's not a scaling champion
Yeah.
anymore,
I mean, at this point, I think if you want to talk about the bot lane a little bit, I think Miss Fortune should have a bit of an advantage earlier on.
Yeah.
She'll be able if she does get a hit
Yeah.
rather in the early game. I think it's going to be quite difficult for an Aphelios Nautilus to deal with.
The problem is Aphelios is kind of immobile. What am I saying kind of? He is immobile.
Yeah.
No flash, can't get out, right?
Mhm.
So when Jarvan does come down to bot lane to force ganks, which I do expect a lot, they can actually proc the winner's bite very quickly from Rom. The passive just goes like that, right? So you have to respect the spacing if you're Aphelios. You have to understand what the timings to back off. And if you are not comfortable with, jungle timings in this patch, in Season 10, you don't understand what times to move up and back off, you will be punished.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You have to definitely rely on the Jarvan going in and landing those skill shots in order to, lock down the Aphelios. Braum by himself is not going to really do that. It's not a Leona. Leona got banned. So this Misfortune Braum lane, I think, will have to come down, like you said, to the Jarvan gank.
Braum is like when you decide to not all in aggression and you just want to focus on a bit more defensive priorities as well. So because of the Unbreakable, the ability to sort of keep Misfortune alive and safe when she's channeling Bullet Time, it's a great pick. The aggressive all-in style of Leona, of Nautilus that you can see on the side of Lannisters, that kind of aggression has to be tempered with information as well.
Absolutely, and aggression is, good, definitely a good thing, but if your Aphelios is not hit, if your team is not hit, then aggression is just going to get you killed.
Like the first game we saw the super sad Aphelios. 1 BF Sword, 3 Doran's Blades, and a QSS. You're just like, well,
what am I going to do here?
I'm not going to do any damage in team fights. Best case scenario, I pick up a kill and I run away, right? It's not those highlight plays where you pop Moonlight Vigil with your Inferno and like everyone just dies, Don't see it anymore.
But good news, Aphelios is on Lannister's side now, just knocked out Close Behind Esports, I believe.
Yeah.
Which means
To
they
the lower
are
bracket,
de facto favorites. So, hopefully we do see a good showing from the Aphelios. Hopefully we don't see them falling down this time.
With the composition that they have, and like we said, if you get mid-prio with the Ahri, allow her to get to the point where she can actually impact the map because she has the lead, just go bot lane 24/7. It doesn't matter if Jarvan comes down. Orianna is definitely going to be walking down, and the teleporting Sion is the least of your worries. If you guys can 3-man, 4-man bot lane, Aphelios is going to be a very happy AD carry.
Yeah, absolutely. Then my question lies with the top lane because, like you said, if the Sion, he just goes even in the lane, he's going to be the one coming out on top, basically. So this Irelia, I'm not sure about the pick. It was a blind pick, obviously. So does get a bit of counter pick right now, but we do have to still see whether or not she's going to be able to make something happen.
It's a very sad feeling when you play Irelia into tanks because you're like, if I am this much better than my opponent, maybe I can find a solo kill. But if there isn't that big skill gap, you more or less are resigned to the fact that you're just farming in lane. Farming in lane, hoping you don't get ganked when you overextend, that's all.
Yep. And that's the thing with Irelia, you farm pretty well, you push pretty quickly, and that does make you pretty susceptible to ganks.
Yeah, people tend to buy first item Tiamat, push, end up getting ganked. So once again, it's the idea of understanding what the jungle timings are, and because of that, we see a lot of teams actually going for early wards, early aggressive vision, and then backing off to control and play with that information. The default for junglers nowadays is actually to go in, or even supports, go in, put a ward down, base, and then swap to a sweeper, because by the time you go for your second base after you lane, the sweeper comes, the warden trinket comes back off cooldown with 2 trinkets. So it's about min-maxing the efficiency of your trinkets.
Absolutely. We do see some pings coming down at the bot side. I'm not sure if they're trying to go for an invade. Doesn't look like it, though. It's a bit of a defensive spread again. I think they're actually just pinging to go in for a ward, actually.
Yeah, they need to get some vision. Okay, so early ward down. This actually doesn't...
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, that ward is useless.
Yeah.
It does not give you any information on where the jungler is.
Yeah, if you want a ward, you should put it next to the Raptor so that you can see when the jungler comes through. But if you put a ward there, I mean, it shows you maybe if the jungler tries to go for an invade, but if you put it this early, it's not going to do much.
Yep. So this ward, like the observer is kindly showing us, it gives you no information of where Kayn is going to path, because this only shows entrance into the river, right?
Yeah.
What you're saying is, and I 100% agree, put it closer to the Raptor. If she cuts out across that way, you have information, oh, Kayn's going to top side, how many camps has she cleared based on her CS.
Oh. Okay, that was spooky for a second. But one thing that did happen was, I think Jarvan, prior to backing and getting that sweeper, did actually show himself as he put on the ward.
Yep.
So one could wager that perhaps Lannister believe that Jarvan's starting towards the blue side?
Yeah, but then the moment Misfortune and Braum show right now in lane, you can make the guess that, oh well, he's starting top side, Sion's late to lane as well, so the math works out that Jarvan is top half.
Yeah, my bad. I saw them hanging back earlier. I thought they were gonna...
That's what a good teammate would do. You'd be like, yeah, that's the smart move. Kayn, starting on the Raptor cam is pretty much expected. It's one of the few junglers actually can do Raptors perfectly here. And the ward is not going to give any information over, so this is tricky. Level 2 gank, though, might come in here from the Jarvan in the mid lane. Flag and Drag is available, is in range, will be flashed away from, so Kirsty, proactive safety is the call of the day.
Yeah, that's just very unfortunate having to spend that flash early for basically nothing in return. Definitely just signals to the Jarvan that, hey, you can come in for an earlier gank. Towards the top side though, we did see the Sion actually getting pushed back super early. He had to spend flash too.
Yeah, so
and now he's gonna have to spend TP too.
Having to teleport back because this is a big wave. I think this is a full wave. Yeah, so you have to go back in time to catch this. Otherwise you don't get level 2.
Yeah, looking pretty good right now for Adney. Just I think gonna reset as well. Not even going to expend her own teleport. By the time you get back to lane, should be able to pick up the next wave.
So we were saying about, or at least talking or alluding to the idea of how this matchup goes the way of Sion as long as there isn't a big skill gap. But because early on, getting punished already by arriving late to lane and Irelia going aggressive, this could actually change or affect the outcome of this lane.
Yeah, but it's still even for now. The fact that, you know, Sion being pushed in is going to allow Jarvan to come up for a gank, maybe leverage, you know, that disadvantage into an advantage later on. But for now, we do see Jarvan trying to path towards bot side, I believe.
Jarvan now already picking up double buffs together with the early boots pickup. This is interesting and very aggressive. So go for early boots as well as double control ward. Not even opting to get the stalkers or the challenging smite skirmishes rather, right? So this is kind of aggressive. Signals to us that she's playing for a team as opposed to playing for herself. Just wants to control the vision to make things happen on the bot half.
Yeah, make things happen on the bot half indeed. I'm going to say that, you know, possibly ganking the bot lane could have been a good idea. Yeah. I didn't see that ward, so backing off, just gonna go back for a bit of farming. Not exactly what you want on a bit of an early game jungler, but you know, what can you do, right? The
thought process right now though, if you are a jungler, you're doing your wolf camp. The next, oh hold on, top coming in for the gank is gonna be Spubby, landing the stun already at now, looking to make the play, but a big wave is actually knocking down on top of them, and not sure if they can convert this just yet. Knock up on top of the Irelia was channeled perfectly to buffer the duration, and now they're playing hokey pokey around this area using the Soul Furnace to add a shield on top of that. Spubby actually unable to really come in for anything, but eventually it's gonna be picked up. Spubby walked in, walked out, and walked back in again. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Christy without the flash should die here. Pelicatan actually having to use her own flash, so not the best gank in the mid lane. I feel like at the end of it, it was Lannister's topside gank that was more impactful.
The good news for the Sion is that she was able to, you know, survive slightly longer than, you know, what you would expect, which allowed, you know, which forced Bubby to go back towards the top side.
Right.
Which then allowed for the Jarvan to go in for that mid lane gank and pick up the kill onto the Ahri.
Right.
So the fact that she was able to survive for that long really paid dividends to, you know, the success of the gank in the mid lane.
Double up, dealing a bit of damage on top of the Nautilus, but overall CS-wise, because of the early range advantage of Calibrium, the sniper, Aphelios actually pulling away with a small CS lead. It's not to say it is negligible, it's 10 CS, which comes out to about 200 to 300 gold. We'll see if Jarvan can come down to this bot lane to impact it, because we were saying how Aphelios as a very immobile champion can be punished quite heavily, whereas the Misfortune Braum lane has some sort of buffering between the stuns as well as the stand behind me. So if I was a betting man, I'll put money on the Jarvan coming down to help them out.
Yeah, either way they're just going to have to come down. I mean, Kayn is already down here and the dragon has spawned. But actually it looks like he's going towards that top side, pick up that red buff when it does spawn. Which is
the timer is actually a bit of so there's a mispath coming in. It's actually a really bad mispath coming in, because right now you can see on your mini map, this is bad play. Completely empty and devoid of camps, no Scuttle Crab either, because that information is available to us. Oh, hold on, a bit of damage on the bot side. But essentially there's nothing you can do on the top half. All you're doing is just walking around and waiting, right? Your smart move would have been to walk bot side, either get early access to the Scuttle Crab, make the gank happen with and force a flash, or sneak the dragon away.
Yeah, it's fortunate for the Kayn that she actually, you know, actually fortunate for Jarvan actually that Kayn hadn't back earlier and reset, because now she had to reset and instead not, how am I saying this? And instead not take the dragon when Jarvan showed topside.
Oh, using a Spirit Rush, leaping forward. The charm is available though, I think. There's a very early Ignite being put down on top of the Orianna, so Kirsty now playing aggressive, but not really in the space to convert. You can see, like I said, charm was available, so she was a bit hesitant there, to say the least.
Yep, okay, Jarvan's back bot side. He might pick this up. So that if she is able to gain some vision advantage down here, that would be better for...
Oh, charmed it. The Command Shockwave though, great flash away from Christie to get her out of danger, but they did force that once more. So it was a flash for flash, and once again, the mid lane ganks are actually costing them a lot more to make them happen.
Yeah, that was a overzealous gank. For sure. I mean, that was just, forcing it a little too much, and the fact that Jarvan did show mid allows Smabbie to invade and take away that red buff that she was looking to just a minute before.
And credit where credit is due, Smabbie is not misplaying this matchup. She's just reading, oh, well, Jarvan forced the game in the mid lane. This should mean that top side is empty because, judging off the respawn timers, there is a window. All she's doing is just taking advantage of the misplays, and the Jarvan herself, like I was calling out earlier, is not having the best path this game.
Yeah, Jarvan pathing is definitely a bit questionable. That bot side, I think the tempo for both teams right now is a bit weird because right now, Rift Herald is going to spawn, and ideally you want the dragon before the first Rift Herald spawn. And now if both objectives are on the map, they can just trade one for the other.
Yeah. The question is, I think we have to assess who comes out better by getting what, right? So looking at Cloud Dragon, it is, for those of you unaware, just a refresher, Cloud Dragon now gives a cooldown reduction, increased cooldown reduction on your ultimate. Looking at the lineup, I would wager actually that it will be more profitable for the side of WoW on red to get the Cloud Dragon because this composition is a bit more wombo combo. They want ultimates as available as possible.
Yeah, and I agree. And if you're Lannister, I think going for the Rift Herald is actually also not that bad because honestly, if you're this high damage profile team, you want to take down turrets quickly.
And not just take down turrets, but open up the map as well, because you have an Ahri, you have a Kayn, and these are these slippery champions that can make use of Fog of War to capitalize on people face checking and trying to put vision down and catching them unaware. So maybe the Rift Herald to open up mid or top might be the best option in this case for Lannisters here.
Very interestingly enough, though, I think both junglers right now are just a bit timid. Neither of them really want to go for that dragon. I think the game state is pretty stable right now. Neither of them really want to mix it up all that much. So I think we are waiting for something, a possible fight even. Not even around Dragon Pit for something to happen.
I think the pace is going to up when level 6 is hit. And right now, Christie is going to be walking in here. Actually, a great Orb of Deception to chunk out Polycaton. But like I said, the trigger might be pulled at level 6 because Depth Charge is available and so is Glacial Fissure, right? So both teams now kind of eyeballing the bot lane a bit. They're like, this looks a bit tasty. We could fight here. But it's more or less just to cover each other. It's whoever pulls the trigger first is going to get punished.
We're looking towards a very huge wombo combo in this bot side, like you said. Keep in mind, both top laners have full summoners, so if something happens towards this bot side and there are minions or wards in the bushes, something big is definitely gonna go down.
Have to respect the TP ability of both the Irelia and the Sion. Like I said, neither of them are slouches when it comes to arriving and dealing immediate impact. Vanguard's Edge, Unstoppable Onslaught, both great CC skills when you join in with a teleport. Now this brush here in the river is warded.
She's been standing for about a minute.
She is. Okay, I'm not gonna hard flame anyone, but her pathing and the way she's been timing her ganks has been very inefficient. That's the honest truth. Inefficiency. You could have walked up, taken the dragon half a minute ago, but decided not to. Instead, now you will be revealed because both your bot laners are walking over to the dragon.
Yeah, this is a trade taking place, right? No, I thought Kayn was taking a Rift Herald, my bad. So this is not going to be a trade, it's just going to take the dragon for free, and Kayn's actually just going to try to path towards top side, pick up the Grunts, I guess. It's not exactly worth for the side of Lannister, and WoW do get out of this on top.
Smabbie coming in for a gank is a bit weird in terms of pacing. Oh, if she got knocked up there, it would have been really, really bad. Thankfully, though, managed to dodge away from the knock-up. Smabbie, though, has to do something with her time because now she's the one who's being a bit inefficient. Oh, great Orb of Deception as well. Spirit Rush to get away from the Shockwave. She could go back in once more for the auto attack and might maybe find a kill. But instead, there's going to be a flash coming out from the Jarvan as well to top up the damage. Here comes Smabbie, though. Has the flash, has the smite going in. Oh, Umbral Trespass as well. That's the kill for the jungler of Lannisters.
Yeah, carry on.
A lot of damage on the top side. Conquer already procced on the Irelia, but under the turret's range means that Sion should be safe to farm up. They get some extra time alone here on the turret plates in the mid lane, so if they can find one or two, that would be really good.
Yeah, we do some very interesting ganks coming in from both sides.
Emphasis on the int.
Yeah, okay. But at the end of the day, Smabbie does come out on top, I think, just because, more experience on the champion.
Yeah.
Picks up the kill on the Jarvan. Jarvan goes down. Not much to see there. You just have to, you know, step it up, I guess.
Now, because we saw early in this lane, the Sion was punished quite heavily at level 1 and level 2. Although she's more or less keeping even, hasn't really gone down all too much. Falling way behind in CS. She's 40 behind right now, and Irella's going to start to snowball soon as well. They're looking to make something happen on the top side. They want the stacks for Kayn, the skirmishing ability. Oh, Vanguard's edge not hitting though. This is going to be a mistake. Here comes Jarvan for the counter gang. A good knock-up, unstoppable onslaught, unlocks up 2, and the Cataclysm not available though. Can they turn this one around? I highly doubt so. And having to run away, and that was great layering of CC. Unstoppable onslaught into the flag and drag means that these two skirmishers are going to be up in the air for days.
I mean, what can I say? Interesting. I mean, your Irelia is pushing up so far. The Sion is basically under turret. What are you doing trying to go in when you see the Jarvan coming up already?
Depth charge on top of Miss Fortune. A lot of damage down already. The Aphelios actually Ignite taking down on top of the Miss Fortune. Calibrium available, but not enough range to finish off the kills. If he lands a Q though, it might change, but as of now, both the Nautilus as well as Aphelios are content pushing the wave out and eating a bit of poke.
Trade-off flashes in the mid lane. I think they were trying to go for a skirmish there. And, oh boy, this is a little...
Kirsty,
what are you doing?
Oh, great charm out of the flag and drag though. Remember, there was a change a couple of patches ago. If you charm someone during a dash, they're knocked out immediately. Right now, level 7 on Spubby, she's already gotten the Rast Evolve.
Just a little too late.
Yeah. We'll be able to clear out this ward though and force a teleport from the Orianna back into mid lane.
Yeah, Orianna teleport not going to do that much anyway, so just spamming it to get back to lane. And,
going in for the trade.
It's just a wet move.
Yeah, it is.
Ah well, gang.
Spubby coming in. Remember, there is still flash available on the Braum. The knock-up into a chain. Umbo Trespass on top of the tank. But not enough damage to finish off the kill. Remember, Aphelios Moonlight Vigil with Calibrium is kind of a meh ultimate. You really want the Flamethrower out, otherwise you're not really going to be able to do much damage.
Yo, these Kayn gangs are actually starting to feel a little too forced. I mean, what is this?
Channeling bullet time on the turret, 3 members there. Not sure if that was the best idea.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, if...
Interesting play.
I would assume that the Miss Fortune would have that information that 3 members were in front of your turret and you were alone because the Braum was nowhere near. So I think standing there channeling bullet time actually just sealed her fate. She just ran away. Yeah.
Smart play would have been to back off Mew on the mid lane. Great dodge away from the shockwave, and that's a solo kill from Kirsty. Like we were saying, is Ahri, despite getting focused down by the Jarvan consistently, actually finds a solo kill.
Yeah, well, honestly, there's action going across the map right now. It's very difficult to keep track of all of it. Basically, yeah, Lance just coming out on top. Just
skill checking.
Chaos,
yeah, skill checking people. That's all it is. Next dragon to spawn in a couple of seconds is going to be Inferno. I say a couple of seconds, slightly under a minute.
And both teams are actually already beginning to set up for it. Inferno definitely looking like it's going to be a bit more prioritized by both teams here.
Now the curious thing is after this, whether the string of dragons following will be Ocean or Mountain. Ideally, you do want Ocean if you are the composition of Lannisters, because the ability to dip in and out of fights through skirmishing on Irelia and Kayn, as well as Ahri, very valuable. The heals will be pretty good as well. Whereas because you have a scaling Sion as a tank, as well as a Jarvan that's built Cinderhawk, you do want more stats. Oh, Charm on top of the Orianna. No Spirit Rush available though, so she's in a precarious position. Now finally coming off cooldown, able to get across the wall. She might be able to play this one out if the Charm lands, but no. Unable to connect with that, but going back in once more. We'll see the Braum here, so caution is advised.
They covered this lane quite a bit on the side of WoW. I mean, the moment you saw the Ahri go in, Braum was already popping up. That's a little... Whew, that could have been a lot worse.
If I'm not wrong, you could actually hook him out of the flag and drag, so that is one of those weird interactions you have to respect. But because they made the play on the Orianna in the mid lane, this is a Inferno Dragon that will be their reward.
Yeah, even though the Braum was the first to pop up, it is Lannisters that pick up the priority over the mid lane, which allows them to take that free dragon, and it's gonna be Ocean.
Yep, Ocean is great. Ocean is fantastic if you are Lannisters, because the heal on both your health as well as mana allows you to fish for plays so often. You can dip in, chunk them out a little bit, walk out, and be completely fine.
Yeah, at this point, we are gonna focus in on a bit we're going to focus in a little bit on the mid lane. I cannot speak today. As we do need to see this map beginning to open up for both these teams if they want to start making stuff happen.
Smite on top of the Sion, a great knockup as well. Spubby is first to fight. A flash being blocked as well, and here comes the Vanguard's edge. Whether they can finish this kill off remains to be seen though, falling very low already, and there you go, Spubby will get the kill credit. 3-1 and 1. A great flash forward earns them the kill, stopping the unstoppable onslaught.
It is a little bit much though. I mean, you did see how long it took for that Sion to die. He's beginning to get, you know, tanky enough to the point you're able to sustain against two, you know, opponents. And the later we go in this game, the worse it's just gonna get for this Irelia.
Oh, Spubby with the knockup as well. The Charm, great layering of CC and the Ignite as well. Meanwhile, bot lane, Glacial Fissure used the depth charge on top of the Miss Fortune. Bullet time greatly, dodged away from. But still the damage being thrown across, and this should be a couple of kills picked up in favor of WoW. Despite the bullet time completely whiffing, they still managed to find the kills, and should be going the way of the Jarvan here.
Yeah, that was a little over-aggressive coming from the Aphelios and the Noctilus. I mean, you shouldn't stay around when you're that low, especially on an immobile AD carry like the Aphelios. So
yeah,
just dying twice to the enemy MF is not gonna feel good, especially when you were, you know, a little bit ahead before that play.
So now they lose a couple of boons in the bot half. The structure's still up though. Plays being made on the top side. Annie as well as Spubby are sort of activating a buddy system here.
Yeah, the crucial thing is that mid tower and top tower are gone for WoW, which gives Lannister full reign over the top side of this river.
Yeah, like this quadrant of the jungle belongs to Lannisters right now, as long as they can get the waves up.
Yeah, and the fact that they do have waves up right now and Aphelios moving to cover mid just gives them this window to take down the first referral of the game.
WoW has to start respecting the line of vision and not check unnecessarily. Taking stock of the items, it looks like Spubby will be moving towards a Black Cleaver here, whereas Trinity Force has already been completed for Annie. Kirsty here already getting the Luna's Echo and the makings of Zhonya's Hourglass. Whereas Aphelios' friend has gotten her own Essence Reaver. Core items actually more or less completed on everyone on the Lannister side, whereas it's only WoW that has finally picked up a couple of their own.
Yeah, and we should be able to see a bit more of fighting going on. Not that we haven't seen much already, but now that the map is open, you're going to see more movements across the map like this.
Yep, walking here.
Yeah, I'm just going to get out. Luckily, the minions were there.
Kited away from pretty well the depth charge, the Riptide. Not enough slows to finish off and find the CC.
Yep, we do see a bit of vision control going towards that, you know, bot side of the map. We see two control wards already around the mouth of that river. So that does signal to me that WoW is going to start positioning a little bit more aggressively towards that dragon. We do see another ward coming out of the Pixel.
So, like you said, a lot of vision on the bot half, because it's the only quadrant that they have some semblance of control over right now. But almost instinctively, the reply comes in from Lannisters here. You put vision down, we're going to send multiple members bot lane and try our best to control the area as well with our manpower.
Yeah, right now Kirsty is looking a little bit overextended though. I'm not sure if they know that the Jarvan is here. It could be a little messy if they...
Oh, landed Charm on top of the Jarvan. The Orianna is very low as well because of Deception did go her way. Ignite on top of the mid lane and a great dodge away once more. Now they will find 2 kills here. Sion arriving to land a knockup, but Spubby's here as well. Everyone on the side of Lannisters is here, and they will be able to find the kills as well as the turret soon after. I don't think anyone on the side of WoW wants to stick around here. In fact, they will rejoin in to try and find the kills. Bullet time is available. Vanguard's edge on the backline. Bullet time actually shredding everyone right now. They might just find a couple more kills here. Double kill on top for the Miss Fortune. The Zeke's convergence actually doing a lot of work there.
Okay, Miss Fortune actually just saved that fight. Honestly, I did not expect the Ahri to be doing that much damage when she came into the backline. Just got all abilities down on the Jarvan and the Orianna. Basically cleaned up the start of that fight. But when the MF and Braum came down to the bot lane, personally I thought, hey, it's over. There's no way they're going to turn this around. And an amazing bullet time coming in from the MF just cleans up the fight and turns it into, you know, a bit more of an evil trade.
Even buys space for this Ocean Dragon take right now because the members of Lannister stuck around a little too long, and they have to now recall to heal up. So this could be snuck away. I say snuck away. There's full information of this being done, but whether Lannisters can really do anything to stop this is a different question. Walking through the wall, trying to find the smite. It's still delayed a little bit, but eventually will be claimed by the Jarvan, and that's going to be Spubby sent over. Thank you for the pickup and the Cataclysm for another. Buy one, get another one for free.
At this point, it's just going wrong for Lannister right now. While able to pick up 2 quick kills after a 1 fight, sure, they're still behind, not significantly in gold. 2k is, you know, okay.
Right.
But if they keep this going, if they are able to continue picking up objectives and kills across the map, this deficit is just going to disappear rapidly.
A good way to start might be to pick up the bot tier 1. The wave coming in with 3 members strong might allow them to do so. Meanwhile, inside the jungle, fighting for Vision are the Orianna and Sion. Annie here arriving the bot side though doesn't mean that she can particularly defend this, just showing up to clean the wave soon after.
Take a look at Bubby's inventory. She's not going to be able to get to a lane before that Rift Herald expires. It's just going to be,
oh man,
they've got to put it down, and it's just going to be telegraphed across the map to the enemy team.
And this is probably the worst lane to put it down. I mean, most lanes are pretty tough, especially when you've taken all outers, but because of the positioning, the members of WoW right now on the red side can just get in place to defend it, and you can see they're grouping up, they're walking mid, they're like, okay, we got to hold off this Rift Herald.
Yeah, and the fact that it was forced to be put down early just allows them to engage this defense before. That's actually a lot of damage.
Yeah, but still, does not grant them the structure which you normally would expect with a Rift Herald.
Yeah, if the Rift Herald came down slightly later, like slightly further down that lane, that turret would be gone. So it's just very unfortunate coming from the side of Lannister.
Recalls being channeled, it's Christie that did go back to base. Meanwhile, on the bot half, Annie's just pushing together with this wave. There's no vision of the Ariel on the bot half. They're spamming pings. They have no full concept of where she is. So caution is being exercised right now.
It's basically a 1-4 right now, except that, you know, Lannister isn't defending the turret all that much. Honestly, I think if they go in for a fight right now, if either of these teams go in for a fight right now, it's actually quite even.
Yeah.
So it will have to come down to micro, I think.
Yeah, in terms of a massive team fight, like you said, the stats aren't that far away that they can just straight up stat check each other. So it will be a bit more in terms of the micro as well as the skill management, how they play these fights out. Pings on the map, everyone on the side of WoW is centered in the mid lane, but it's going to be the Orianna that devotes some time to the top half.
Taking a step back from what they're doing though, I think it's really commendable how they've set up the vision around that Baron. Like you can see, both teams are actively trying to set up vision around the big purple worm.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you don't see, you know, a sheer advantage for just one team in terms of vision around that objective, it's always something you have to take a look out for.
Sion's got to the point where the armor as well as the tab eyes are starting to do work. You could see Annie does little to no damage against the Sion. Sure, she can clear the waves, but it's just going to be ping pong back and forth, right? Oh, root being landed, a Glacial Fissure on top of the Aphelios as well as the Flag and Drag in. Cataclysm already used at the Death Charge as well as the Misfortune Ultimate. That's a pickup already. And overextending inside the jungle. Spubby is here to land them some defense, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. They get the Aphelios, but they lose the Orianna.
They lose the Orianna, but they do allow themselves to push down this mid lane. Nautilus and Kayn not going to be doing that much to defend this objective against 3, so this should be going down along with the Demolish. So
more importantly, the Misfortune is still up alive, so they can look to make a play happen elsewhere on the map as long as they group up together.
Absolutely, they do see the Ahri, so they understand the threat that's coming. Back off in time, Ahri's just left wandering around clearing wards.
I must say that the saving point for this WoW side is really the Misfortune, because her impact in teamfights cannot be understated. Yeah. She's been churning out so much damage in conjunction with the Jarvan IV. So as long as they time the ultimates properly and, you know, Braum is in position to dissuade any sort of aggression, you will be fine in these teamfights. It's about how they position and control the area though, because they drafted the composition with that in mind. Area control, area denial, and playing to these wombo combos.
Alright, in the next minute we will see another dragon spawn, so both neutral objectives are going to be up on the map again. Question is who's going to go for what, but at the moment as it stands we do see vision advantage towards the Baron in favor of Lannister.
Actually pretty decent control because the top quadrant is available to defend with top tier 1 up. So their line of vision, their line of skirmish is much further than their opponents.
Yeah, we can see though that WoW is actually setting up a vision line in that bot side river, so it's just, you know...
The map is split.
The map is absolutely split, and, you know, if you trade Baron for Dragon, it's not going to be the best thing in the world, but if you're in this position, it's not going to be the worst either.
I feel like the composition itself, though, takes Baron extremely quickly. I'm talking about the Lannister side because they have the Aphelios. So you really have to respect the time. But that being said, Ocean Dragon is being taken very quickly as well by the side of WoW. Smited away by the Jarvan, and now Swabi once more committing way too deep into the pit to try and find a steal. This is the second time she's walked into the pit, got picked off, and unsuccessfully tried to steal the dragon.
This is very questionable because if you take a look at what they were doing on the minimap before that dragon take, both Ahri and Kayn were in that bot lane, I think clearing waves. So when that dragon
they could pull a trigger here, Shockwave catches 2, the bullet time as well just wipes them off the map. You could see that coming from a mile away that the play was going to be made, but sticking around the mid lane was Lannisters, and they'll pay the price. They'll lose 2, they'll lose the mid inner as well.
That was absolutely disgusting. That was a great wombo combo coming in from the side of WoW, and honestly I don't think Lannister expected that, and they do pay the price for not setting up better.
But you have to look at the ultimates right now. Everything's on cooldown, which is why they're not sticking around to find another fight. There's nothing that they can do to turn the tides if they get caught out, so respectfully they will have to back off, and getting caught out in the river is the Jarvan shutdown, going the way of Adney, and now they're looking for more because guess what? No ultimates means you guys can't put up a defense.
Yeah, Christie right now overextending once again, but keep in mind she does have a lot of damage and she's gonna find the Orianna.
Oh, Charm, Ignite as well, the Arbor Deception, but actually not enough damage to finish the kill. Now Christie might be the one that's overextended. She still has the flash though. Pops the Zhonya's Hourglass to keep alive, flashes away from the knockup as well. A great Charm to give her the space to maneuver out. Unstoppable Onslaught though, whether he can drift in is not gonna matter because the Sion player does not get in range in time.
Christie's been doing this sort of overextension quite a lot this game, and honestly, this time she is just, you know, very, very lucky to be able to get out alive.
Call it luck, call it skill, but she did manage to get the play down, and she forced a lot out of the WoW side, buying some space for her team. 4-2 and 4 is the mid laner of Lannisters on this Ahri right now, looking to finish off the Morellonomicon.
Yep, and now all the attention turns towards the dragon. The deficit in gold earlier has now been equalized. It's now only about 1k, which honestly doesn't matter all that much. So in these later game fights, it is going to fall down to AD carries, and you know, Kirsty on the 4-2 for Ahri.
Yeah,
these are the factors that are really going to decide how team fights go at this stage of the game.
Now you brought up the point of dragon, and because on the next dragon take for WoW, they will get the Ocean Soul, and in 2.5 minutes, that's going to be a big threat.
Yeah.
If you are Lannisters right now, do you focus your attention still on the Baron, or do you know, oh, hold on, Shockwave, backline. Swabi taking a lot of damage, uses the Umber Trespass to get some healing done. Will manage to leap away in time, but everyone is more or less with the ultimates right now. I think Lannisters might have a window to go back in here. Here comes the teleport. The backline Vanguard's Edge not available just yet. Can they clean this one up? Coming to the backline, Adney actually doing a lot of work, and they might be able to find the fight that they want. Adney now going back in, joining her team. Infernum coming up. The Moonlight Vigil doing a lot of damage, and they manage to turn the fight around. They get 3, they lose 2, and now they have the advantage across this Baron.
And the crucial factor in that fight, the crucial moment, was when the MF got hooked by the Nautilus. Aphelios in that fight was basically untouched, allowed to spam damage down. And at this point, they're just going to take this Baron. I don't think there is any chance.
This is a nightmare scenario. Look at the setup.
They're low.
Yeah, they're very low. Swabi might get caught out here. The Smite, though, will keep her alive. Resetting the aggro on the Baron is a good sign. So the teleport being committed by Orianna to buy some space at least denies the Baron take. But the damage has already been done. The gold now in favor of Lannisters with a massive fight. And you could see that at the start of the fight, all their ultimates were disjointed. It wasn't as coordinated as you would have liked it from WoW, and that was what cost them the fight.
Yeah, it all comes down to these smaller moments in the team fights, and honestly, I think they should have done a better job in protecting the MF. She was on the front line for most of that, but I have no idea why she was
such
there.
a fuse bag. If you're MF, you're like, guys, I have so much damage, but no one's peeling for me.
Yeah, they just have to protect the MF. This is what the composition has to do at this point if they want to continue winning. The gold right now is about 2k. It's by no means insurmountable. They just have to play these fights slightly better.
We're about slightly less than a minute away, 49 seconds to be precise, and counting till the Ocean Dragon is up. WoW now probably has their sights on that objective because they do want the Ocean Dragon, but meanwhile Unstoppable Onslaught will be channeled on the top side. Spubby actually denies it by running through the wall. Now they're looking for the Sion player herself. She's running away using the flash, and that is a big ultimate that has been consumed in an effort to get out of that fight.
Yeah, take a look at Kirsty. Is actually on vision duty down towards the bot side, definitely not wanting that last dragon to go over to the side of WoW. But the thing about this is that, you know, WoW has been always the one initiating the dragon fights.
Yeah.
They've been the ones to get to the dragon first. And right now, I like to see the initiative coming out from Lannister to gain some vision out there.
Forcing onto Spubby, uses a stopwatch to buy some space, but remember, Kirsty's not here and neither is Atney, and this should be the jungler being popped already in Guardian Angel right now. 5 members from the side of WoW hanging around, and a bit of a disjoint in communication you have to think in that fight. Spubby caught off guard.
Yeah, that was a good pick coming in from the side of WoW, and right now it all comes down to Kirsty.
Kirsty now getting caught, has to use the Spirit Rush away, but eventually will tick down to the Ignite coming through from the Braum, and it's a little too late for them to make the play happen because now it's Ocean Dragon going the way of WoW, and the regeneration you can see is already starting to pick up.
Ocean Dragon and Ocean Soul, and man, Lannister is not having a good time around this dragon at all today.
Kirsty, 35 seconds to respawn. Spubby, 7 seconds till she's up, and I don't think there's any way she can feasibly get here in time to steal this one away. WoW will take the purple objective. They will be smiling on their way home, unless Atney and Diglett have something to say about this fight.
Diglett right now just isn't tanky enough to look for a fight. And Atney, you would want to be slightly higher in levels before you go in, so this is just free. They can't chunk through those health bars, and WoW will walk away with a 5-man free Baron.
They played it so close up till the last part where both Kirsty and Spubby got caught out respectively. Fell apart, gave the Ocean Soul away, gave the Baron away, and now they have to climb themselves out of this hole once more.
And now the initiative falls to WoW. What are they going to do with this Baron? Because we've seen that they aren't exactly the most coordinated team when it comes to team fights. So if they try to go for a bit of a macro play, try to split Lannister across the map, I think that is a slightly clearer path to victory.
Yeah. Make use of the Baron on the Sion, maybe 1-4. It might be a good way to execute and make use of this objective.
Yeah, at this point they just have to push. They have to start pushing their waves because they haven't been paying much attention to them as they're just pushing towards the base. So WoW right now setting up their waves for a potential 1-4 in the making, as you can see on the minimap. And Lannister look like they are just going to fall back for a while.
Pings on top of Kirsty. Her team is calling for some assistance because they do need all hands on deck to defend against this push. You know, Filio's a friend. 2, 3, and 3 already picked up 3 core items, looking for the 4th right now. Bot wave already reaching the inner structure. It's gonna be the Sion that actually sieges down with the Demolish as well, making quick work of this objective. Kirsty, blue buff isn't the focus right now. You shouldn't be doing that. Enemies pushing in. They're knocking on the gates. You need to be back at the base defending.
Yeah, Kirsty right now walking down towards that blue buff and taking it, just spending crucial seconds.
That's your
away
inhibitor
from the base. Yeah, exactly like you said, allowing for WoW to just walk into the base and take this inhibitor. You would think that if she had back a while ago, you know, a few seconds, instead of going through the blue buff.
She could have based on the top half.
Yeah.
Oh. Important charm though. They landed on top of the Misfortune, flashing away. The Death Charge is gonna knock her up. But enough members are being thrown in front of her to just keep the AD carry safe. Vanguard's Edge on the back line. Can Atney really do anything here? Multiple low health bars already jumping in the back line is Spubby. She's falling very low and will go down soon after. Here comes the damage from the Philios. Actually able to clean up though. Atney now doing a lot of work. And even though all the bodies were thrown in front of that fight, they managed to find the kills that they needed. It was the jungler, it was the support, and the AD carry that all went down.
Absolutely. There's a 1-4-3 for Lannister, and this is what we're talking about. If you play a cleaner macro game as WoW, you have better chance of beating Lannister than if you go head-to-head
and skill check them.
Of 5v5 team fights.
Both Atney, Kirsty, and Friend are not afraid to take these fights. They will roll and punch with you if they need to, and they are going deep in these fights.
In fact, I think they welcome it. At this point, they know exactly what they have to do. They know what their champions are good at, and they have just been continuously capitalizing on the weaknesses that WoW are showing. Again, why is MF on the front line?
Yeah. Why is she eating a charm?
Yeah.
Why is she the one leading the charge into the mid lane? These are the small micro things that eventually cost you, because you might find yourself with a large advantage just off a small opponent's small misplay by the opponent.
Yeah, and the gold has ballooned once again to about 1k, 1.2k, around there. It's just been, you know, fluctuating between. It's basically been fluctuating between even and 1 to 2k for the past 15 minutes.
Literally back and forth, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm super confused what the item build from Aphelios is next, because I see Infinity Edge. I see a BF Sword and a Pickaxe. I'm like, well, those two items don't build into anything else, apart from a Storm Razor, which makes no sense.
2 IE.
Yeah, 2 IEs maybe? I don't know, but even then you already have max crit, so the second IE would do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Dude, if you are Aphelios right now, you just go for a straight up GA. Like, it doesn't matter, just go for GA. Vanguard's Edge on top of the Scion, having to flash away Unstoppable Onslaught used as well, so they burn not only the ult from Scion, they also burn the flash.
Yeah, but Scion does bring the attention of Irelia towards the top side, and why is Ahri down there? Basically, they lose. Yeah. Luckily, they are lucky they didn't lose in him.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, well, they are really good at team fighting and micro, but their macro is absolutely questionable sometimes.
Yeah, definitely something they have to work on, and that's something that Wild have to recognize, something they have to be able to capitalize on. Again, they should not be going for 5v5
abuse their questionable macro.
Absolutely. Alright, right now we are going to see a setup towards the Dragon from both teams. Irelia going up towards
I think it's about 40 seconds till Elder comes up. And it doesn't matter if you're Lannisters and you're behind 3 dragons at this point. You just want an Elder. Get the Elder, get the execute portion, you win the fights. And for them to control this objective, they're not even in position yet.
Yeah, at this point, this Dragon is basically just going to be, I think honestly, if WoW gets this Dragon, they just win the game.
Yeah, this is how you either win the game or you throw the game.
Alright.
Here we go, big boy.
It's gonna get spicy.
It is. Vision being cleared out in the jungle. Annie is the one that's going to be walking up. She will put a ward down, but it's going to be spotted by Polykaton here in the jungle. 5 members of WoW is already situated around this area, and Kirsty is getting a lane prio in the mid lane, which is a good sign. Problem is, pings on the bot side. Guess what? You notice it as well, I bet. Mega super minions are pushing it into the base of Lannisters right now, and the only one available to do this is Annie with the teleport.
Yeah, I like how tense this is getting. I mean, both teams, neither of them really want to go in, but they know that they have to deny the dragon from the other. So, it honestly comes down to setup.
Speaking of setup, Elder Dragon is already started up by the ladies on WoW. It's already down to 10k. Walking over is Annie, though. It's actually falling relatively slowly, so there is a window for them to push the pull the trigger if they want to on this fight. Down to 7.5 now. It's starting to go very, very low. I wonder if anyone is really going to get here. Spubby is sitting off the back. She's missed 2 already. This might be the one that actually wins them the fight, going in the Graviton. Doing a lot of damage, is resetting, and now Spubby already falling, but a Shockwave only catches 1. Meanwhile, in the back line, the Misfortune damage is coming through, and she's shredding absolutely everyone. The only one left alive is Aphelios. I don't know if she can really do anything here. She has to back off. Sacrificing her mid laner, or excuse me, top laner right now is Annie, and it's going to be a triple being picked up by the Misfortune. The bullet time shredded everyone, and this is going to be the Elder as well. While managed to play that fight out, and Spubby was thrown under the bus in that whole skirmish.
And finally, we see a good team fight come through for WoW. If you took a look at where the MF was in that fight, she was never on the front line. She was always in the back line, consistently dealing damage, and she is the main reason why they were able to pick up all those kills and why they're going to be able to clean up this Nexus.
11-3 and 8 is the scoreline for, in my books, the MVP of this game. Misfortune doing lifting the bare front of the work for her team. Now waves are still being cleared out though. Friend might have something to say about this, but the last auto attack from the Misfortune guarantees the game, and congratulations, because in the finals right now, WoW.
Whew. And what that means is that our 2 favorites going into today are both in the lower bracket.
Oh yeah.
One of them will not make finals.
One of them is definitely going to be eliminated before they even get into the finals. And looking at this performance from Lannisters, remember that they did beat out close behind before this? Looking at their macro, it leaves a lot to be desired. Looking at the way they are coordinating, it feels like they are very much disjointed on a whole. And although, yes, the mid laner Kirsty did perform exceptionally. Aphelios as a friend on Aphelios was great as well. The thing that still concerns me is the way they play the map and the way they coordinate their actions. Because when it comes to team fighting, it comes naturally to them. It looks like they know what they have to do. But when it comes to moving across the map and setting up for vision and controlling objectives, they look lost.
Yeah, and I don't think the point WoW was going into this game for was to expose the macro weaknesses of Lannister. But I think that's exactly what they did. Especially when it comes to Svabi, because honestly, we looked at her pathing across the map, and sure, Jarvan has some, interesting
inefficiency moves as well. is the way I would describe it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
but Svabi had a lot more weaknesses than Jarvan this game. I think it was very, very obvious, and I think other teams will begin to catch on and start to utilize this against Lannister.
The key indicator to me was when the dragons were being taken. She's like, okay, maybe I could steal this, and then she just walks in twice,
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. Failing to really get the pickup, and then dying soon after. And the moment your jungler dies, your opponents are like, oh, this is free Baron, this is free whatever, right? So maybe go back to the drawing board, take a look at the decision making as a team, and of course she is a new pickup. Adjustments have to be made. It's still growing pains. We'll see how that goes as they progress in the lower bracket. But for now, guys, we're going for a short break. When we come back, it's going to be Winter versus Wyvernia for our next matchup, and probably the final match for today as we look to close out day 1. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.